Hi, my loves. This week we will be talking about settings of books and stories. So, our question that we're going to answer today is, what is a setting? Now, when I think of a setting, I like to use a special type of thinking map called a brace map. And the brace map tells me the two important parts of a setting. So, where and when are the two important parts of a setting. When you put the where the book takes place and when the book or story takes place, that helps you describe the setting. You need those two things when you're describing the setting. Now that we are in first grade, we're going to make sure that we answer both of those questions when we're talking about a setting, and we're going to be really specific. So the setting can be a school, but we're going to get even more specific. Like where in the school? Maybe in the cafeteria. And when? Meaning what time? So just like our gestures that we have for characters, I have some for setting. So watch me do it first. The setting is where and when the story takes place. Watch me again. The setting is where and when the story takes place. Let's see if you remember how to use your mirrors. Mirrors on. Great. The setting is where and when the story takes place. The setting is where and when the story takes place. Mirrors off. Great job. I hope that you're using your gestures and your words. That helps it stick in your brain. Now, we know what a setting is. My next question is, how can we find the setting of the story? And again, it's very similar to characters. We can find the setting of the story by looking closely at the words and the pictures. Sometimes we'll have to use the two of those together to help us figure out the setting. So you'll have to look at the pictures and the text of a story to know where and when the story takes place. So that's the setting. So, what I have up next, because we know that the setting is where and when, I'm going to show you just some images or pictures of books, and you're going to tell me where the story takes place just by looking at those picture clues, and when by looking at those picture clues. Then later this week, we're going to use pictures and text to help us figure out the setting. So just a reminder, where is usually a place. So it can be in the kitchen at my house. It can be outside at the park near the slide. When can be a season, or it could be a time, or maybe morning or night. They might not say at 2 p.m., but we'll know if it's afternoon or night, depending on the pictures or the text. So I am going to share my screen. Let's see. Here's my first setting. So remember, a setting is where and when. So look at this setting. Where is it? Ooh, I heard some of you say on the sand or at the beach. You could say at the beach next to the beach house. That's getting very specific. That's what good first grader readers do. So now that you told me where, when is it? There are some clues in these pictures. When is it? I heard some friends say it's during the day. When I see that sun out there, I think it's during the day too. Probably at night, not at night. I also, when I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking of seasons, it's probably not a colder season. So I would say when is during the day in the summer. So look at those picture clues, and we had so many describing words. We just didn't say at the beach. We said at the beach, next to the beach house, in the summer during the day. Look how detailed we got. Here's our next one. It's from a good book, too. This is from Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. You might have heard this book. Let's think about this setting. Where are they? Where are they? They're inside, and I see those books and crayons, so I think they're inside in a classroom. And it might be a music classroom because of those music notes. So I'm looking at those pictures, so that's where. When is it? I heard some friends say during the day. There is a window in the background, and it looks pretty bright out there. I'm not really sure what season it could be. And there is a clock right up there, but I can't see it very much. It might just be how the illustrator chose to draw his setting. So sometimes there are really good details that we can pull from, and sometimes we just have to use other things. In Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, the text actually helps give us answers of those. Here's my next setting. Where do you think this is? Where? I heard some friends say outside, and I agree. But remember, as first graders, we're going to really dig deep. Where outside? So it's outside, maybe in a field, next to a tree. We're really going to dig deep. Now, when is it? I heard some friends say maybe summer or spring. I see those flowers and animals out. And judging by the clothes that those kids are wearing, I'm going to say it's probably not winter. You're right. I noticed that the little leaves are starting to come on the tree. That makes me think spring, because spring is when things start to blossom and bloom. Now, when is it? Yes, when can be in the spring too. And looking at that sun, I'm going to say it's during the day. Probably at night. All right, here's my last one, which is from one of my favorite books from when my kids were little, and it's called Goodnight Moon. So you might recognize it too. Where is this? Where is this? It's in a house, but we want to be super specific. So where in the house? In a bedroom. Yes, we need to say in a bedroom, in a house, or in Little Bunny's house, because we know that we see Little Bunny there. When is it? Yep, it's nighttime. If I look out that window, I see those stars. Great job using your picture clues. You all are going to do wonderful at setting this week. Today, we are going to set up another page in our literacy notebook, and it's going to be setting. When I'm finished talking, the next image on the screen is going to be how you are going to set up your page. So please look carefully and pause the video if you need to, so you know how to set up your literacy notebook for setting. Okay, friends. We're going to set up our setting page in our literacy, our reading notebook. So I have my reading notebook, and last week we did our characters. I'm going to turn just one page. I don't want to waste my pages. And I'm going to hold it the same way. My little dots on the top page are going to be up at the top. I'm going to actually show you, because these brace maps can be a little tricky, of how to make them. So we're going to make a brace map. So pretend this is your notebook page. You are going to write setting right here. Setting. Setting. Now, if you notice, I didn't make it all big over here because I need that space. So to make a brace map, this is what you do. First, I draw I call a carrot nose. It's going to point towards setting. Do you see my carrot nose? That's how I would draw a nose on a snowman. Then I'm going to draw 2 sideways rainbows. Sideways rainbow, sideways rainbow. And now I have my brace map. It looks like a little side face to me if I put an eyeball here. Then in our setting brace map, there are 2 parts. There is the where and the when. Up at the top, I'm going to write where. Right about at the middle part, I'm going to write when. If you look, I have space under where and when. You should have space under where and when as well. So here is my literacy notebook or my reading notebook. I have setting with my brace, and I have where and when with lots of space. This week we're going to fill in where and when throughout the week. So you don't have to worry about that right now. Future videos, so videos that you'll watch tomorrow or the next day, will tell you what you need to draw and write here. So please keep this handy. Before I end, I'll make sure to post a picture of this so you can look closely at it to make sure yours looks like mine. Have fun!